Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace, and today we have a session on two types of questions. We have only two types of questions. One will be error spotting type of questions, and one will be rearrangement type of questions. So both are quite of difficult level. You will enjoy the session a lot. So let us start the session without much trouble, without much ado. Let us start the session. Okay. So we have four people online. So I would expect everyone to answer the question as far as practicable, as far as possible. So let me start the English practice questions, day 10 of our sessions. So first question is error spotting. So these are four sentences are given over here. One out of four is incorrect. One out of four is incorrect. You have to find the sentence which is incorrect. Find grammatically or contextually. The response rate to RTI requests have also slowed down. So it should be has. It should be has because response rate is singular. The GSP therefore can advance the objective of transparency. No error. The RTA Act has dealt with the citizens' rights to know about public information. No error. There is no need for anyone to take the recourse to the RTA Act and await the response. Only A has an error, so we'll mark A as the answer. Fine. Because the response rate to RTI has slowed down will be the correct answer. A has an error. Fine. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. Out of these four sentences, one has an error. You have to find the sentence which has no error. The sentence which has no error. If we show an awareness of our own political leanings, it makes us more trustworthy. I think there's no error in this. Journalism must retain its ability on scrutinize. It should be to scrutinize. It should be to scrutinize. Journalism must retain its ability to scrutinize the state rather than becoming a cheerleader. So error was in part, error is in part sentence B, which is ability to scrutinize and not on scrutinize. Ability to do something. You understand this? So somebody has an ability to do something, ability to perform, ability to dance, ability to sing. So it will be ability to scrutinize. That will be the correct answer. Fine. Moving ahead to the next question. The implicit assumption is that the organized sector can be a proxy for the unorganized sector. Okay. While RTI filings have increased exponentially, RTI activism has become part and parcel of civil society. Fine. High judiciary must do its duty as guardians of the citizens' constitutional rights. Only certain specific projects or initiatives are undertaken in this mission mode. So the error is in part A. A has an error because proxy to. Proxy is followed by to. So the implicit assumption is that the organized sector can be a proxy to the unorganized sector. So something is proxy to another thing. It means it is similar to another thing, very much similar to another thing. So it will be like proxy to the unorganized sector. That will be the erroneous part of the four sentences. A has an error. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. The government, now this is no error type question. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, you have to find which has no error. The others may have an error. One has no error. You have to find that sentence. Okay. The government led by the Telangana Rashtra Samiti has been unwilling to take after the burden. So it should be take up the burden. Take up the burden. This is error is in part A, but this is not the one. One is not the answer. We have to find the correct sentence. So this is ruled out. This is ruled out. It has an error. It has an error. So the IMF on Tuesday followed the World Bank in reducing its forecast for India's economic growth in the current financial year. Okay. The IMF on Tuesday followed the World Bank in reducing its forecast for India's economic growth in the current. This seems to be correct, so let us not say it's correct. Let us read the other sentences. Crucially, the bank and the fund have flagged. It should be flagged. Flagged. Have been flagging or flagged. It should be correct because with have we use V3. Okay. So, crucially, the bank and the fund have flagged one area of structural weakness that could undermine any recovery if left unaddressed. So, error is in part 3 also has an error. Let's read 4. India has been aggressively expanding. Expanding would be the correct answer. So only I think 2 is correct. So only 2 will be your answer. Only 2 will be your answer. Fine. Only 2 will be your answer. Next question. The word lynching in fact originated in the United States in the mid 18th century. This seems to be correct. I think 1 will be answer, but still let us read the other sentences. The TRS, okay, 4 has been mentioned here. 4 has been mentioned here. Okay. The TRS government has restored to dismissing nearly the entire units of TSRTC workers. Okay. The importance of an accurate diagnosis cannot be overemphasized. So we have to find the sentence which has no error. Okay. The word lynching in fact originated in the United States in the mid 18th century. The TRS government has restored to dismissing nearly the entire units of TSRTC. The importance of an accurate should be an accurate. So this is erroneous sentence. Error is there. Policy and interventions to address the malady must be targeted appropriately to ensure. It should be ensure. So 3 and 4 are incorrect. We have to find the error in either 1 or 2. So 3 and 4 are no error questions. 3 and 4 are no error questions. We have to find the sentence which has an error in 1 and 2. The word lynching in fact originated in the United States in the mid 19th century, 18th century. This seems to be the only correct sentence, I guess. But let us check 2 again. The TRS government has restored to reverted. It should be reverted, because reverted to dismissing nearly the entire unit. Okay, sorry. This is not. I got the error. The error will be entire unit, not entire units. Entire is modifies only singular thing, unit. Okay, so this is entire unit, and this should be importance of cannot be. The importance of an accurate, be second and third are incorrect. Fourth is also incorrect. Policy interventions to address the malady must be targeted to ensure. This should be ensure. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4 are incorrect. The answer will be only 1. Only 1 is correct. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. China added generation capacity that was equal to a third of India's total China added generation capacity that was equal to a third of India's total installed capacity in 2018. Declining marginal cost for capacity provides opportunities for replacing. So B2 has an error. For should be followed by a preposition, must be followed by a gerund. So ing form of verb should follow it. Although the word lynching is of foreign origin, this does not mean that mob killings are alien to India. This also seems to be correct. So the second one is wrong. Jhajjar, Khairanlanji and Una are just 3 recent sites. It should be sites. So 2 and 4 are incorrect. Now let's check between 1 and 3 again. China added generation capacity that was equal to a third of India's total installed capacity in 2018. This seems to be a correct sentence. Let us read the third one. Although the word lynching is of foreign origin, this does not mean that mob killings are okay. It should be mob killing is alien to India. Mob killing is alien to India. So error is in part. Only 1 is no error question. So only 1 will be the correct answer. Fine. Another question. These gestures have only intensified. So one is error question, error sentence. In public interest, the government should brought. It should be government should bring. So 2 is also error question, error sentence. In the case of a Chinese GDP shock, the onset of the impact on India would likely be delayed but substantially more pronounced. Seems to be a correct sentence. Let us check 4 again. Economies of scale in power generation appears to have been dramatic. So only 3 is correct. So only 3 will be the answer. C is the answer. Clear? Okay. Moving ahead. Again we have to find a sentence which has no error. Everyone agrees that becalmed domestic consumption demand is the biggest dragged on momentum. is the biggest drag on momentum. Drag, D-R-A-G, D-R-A-G on momentum. This will be the correct answer. Be calm means reduced. Be calm means which has been calmed down or reduced. Reduced it means India aims to have, so it should, one has an error, one has an error. India aims to have a renewables capacity. It should be a renewable capacities capacity. So two also has an error. Or it should be like India aims to have no article renewables capacity. So anyhow it should be renewable only. A renewable capacity of 175 gigawatts. This should be the correct answer. Today, thermal generation capacity accounts for about 2/3 of the installed general capacity. Installed generation. So 4 will be automatically be correct, but let us see. Infrastructure projects have an inverse relationship between size and unit cost, indicating economies of scale. So our answer will be only 4. Only 4 is correct. Okay, only 4 is correct. Next question, error spotting, like 5 questions are there. For the last 6 months, SEMA has been asking them to refund the money, but there has been no action. There has been no action. It should be there has been. Okay. He promised to get in touch with me, not myself. With is followed by an objective case. Which sectors have been affected the most by the global recession? One of the executives who works one of the executives who work at the head office has confirmed the news. Okay, it's a good question. So one of the executives who work at the have confirmed. So this should be work is perfectly fine. No S is required. Work is fine, and has is used for the one of the executives. So no error question. It took me 4 months to convince them to take this step. Okay, 4. Radhika Reddy says 4. Okay, moving here to the next question. Next set of questions, we have another 5 error spotting questions. So they start with A actually. The greatest joy in publishing a new magazine over 4 decades has been to the greatest joy in a new magazine over the 4 decades has been to observe the ebb and flow. The correct phrase is ebb and flow of history. Ebb means stagnancy, stopping of something. Flow means flowing of something. So ebb and flow of history is the correct use of the phrase ebb and flow. Observe the ebb and flow of history accompanied by political tsunamis. So error is in part C. C has an error. I'll tell it to you again. The greatest joy in publishing a new magazine over 4 decades has been to observe the ebb and flow of history accompanied by political tsunamis. Okay. After 25 years, we have a single party in power with a clear majority and a mandate of development. After 25 years, we have a single party in power with a clear majority and a mandate of development. No error question, no error. Answer to our population problems lies in education and not in coercive and criminal sterilization. Drives with unrealistic targets and hard to resist monetary incentives. So lies in education, not in coercive and criminal sterilization. Drives with unrealistic targets and hard to resist. So answer will be the first part. The answer to our population problems lies in education. So error is in part A. The Arabian Nights, so this is A sentence basically. The Arabian Nights with stories such as Ali Baba, Aladdin and Sindbad the Sailor is an important cultural artifact. It should be is, because Arabian Night is the name of a book. The Arabian Nights with stories such as Ali Baba, Aladdin and Sindbad the Sailor is an important cultural artifact and played a major role in forming Western assumption of the exotic East. Okay. Extending an invitation to the President of the US for the Republic Day barley a month after Modi's visit to the Big Apple puts together strengthening of ties among the world's 2 biggest democracies firmly on track. So it should be between the world's 2 biggest democracies. Okay, because it talks about 2 biggest democracies firmly on track. So extending of an invitation to the President of US for the Republic Day barley a month after Modi's visit to the Big Apple puts strengthening of ties between the world's 2 biggest democracies firmly on track. Okay, So error is in part D, which is between the two world's biggest democracies. Okay. Now we'll have rearrangement of questions. We have rearrangement of questions, sentences. So let us see what will be the answer. This will be the first sentence. Okay. Given the scale of the crowds, officials at the Agriculture Produce Market Committee. So it starts with D, I guess. DB. DB is a probable pair. DB is a probable pair. So given the scale of the crowds, officials at the Agriculture Produce Market Committee, and the police found it difficult to control buyers, most of whom. So DBCA will be the correct answer. DBCA. Very good. Easily we have found out. So given the scale of crowds, officials at the Agriculture Produce Market Committee and the police found it difficult to control buyers, most of whom had thrown physical distancing to the winds. So DBCA will be the correct answer. Fine. Moving on to the next question. Imposing draconian rules as the exercise. Okay. It can be the first sentence. Okay. Let's start with A. So A, only one option is there, ACDB. Let's check. Imposing draconian rules as they exercise a form of private authoritarianism in their neighborhoods, become emboldened and are often resident. No. This shouldn't be the correct answer. Let's check it again, once again. Okay, we can start with B, I guess. BCAD and BDAC. Resident welfare associations have become emboldened and are often. So BDAC. Resident welfare associations have become emboldened and are often imposing draconian rules as they exercise a form of private authoritarianism in their neighborhood. So BDAC will be the correct answer. BDAC, 100% correct. Let us, why it is like this, because this is the first sentence. Resident welfare associations have become. It makes a pair. Have become. Yeah, D will be the correct answer. Correct. Radhika Reddy, Madurai, Ramakrishna. Very good. So let's move to the next question. Okay. If we start with B, BACD we can check. To tackle the COVID-19 crisis, it is important to strengthen local government capacities and promote programs that improve the livelihoods of urban vulnerable communities. So BACD will be the correct answer. C is the correct answer, because we can start the sentence with to tackle the COVID-19 crisis. It is important to, so after BA comes, BACD is the correct order of the sentences. Okay. Next question. Heavy reliance on China, government's high ambition, capacity at must now be supported. Okay, we can start the sentence with D in this case, I guess. No, DBAC. Okay. Combined with low domestic cell manufacturing, heavy reliance on China, DBAC it says. Combined with low domestic cell manufacturing capacity at 3.1 G last year and heavy reliance on China, government's high ambition must now be supported. Okay, DBAC is the correct answer. DBAC. I'll tell you why. Because we can start the sentence with D only. Combined with low domestic cell manufacturing, D, manufacturing capacity at 3.1 gigawatt last year and heavy reliance on China, government's high ambition must now be supported by aggressive official policy. So DBAC will be the correct answer. DBAC. Okay, moving ahead. India needs to show leadership to advance the manufacture and absorption of solar photovoltaics infrastructure in low. Okay, it's very easy actually. ADBC. Do you have an option like ADBC? Yeah, ADBC we have an option. ADBC. Why did I say that? Because it's the first sentence. India needs to show leadership to advance the manufacture and absorption of solar photovoltaic infrastructure in low and middle income countries. So ADBC is the correct answer. ADBC, that's D number option. Moving ahead. Okay. We'll try to find the first sentence. Okay, B is the first sentence, I guess. So BDCA, let us check. Pedagogues would argue that there could be more than one method of lightening an academic load that, in case predates the pandemic, will not at all have reacted the same way. And okay, BDCA, not really, not really. Let us check once again. Pedagogues would argue that there could be more than. So BD will be together. BD will be together. BD is 100% a pair. Let us check BDCA and ACBT. ACB, not all of them the same way. No. ACDB. Any answers from you? Question number, this question, not all have reacted. Question, Radhika Reddy says C. BDCA, okay. Pedagogues would argue that there could be more than one method of lightening the academic load that, in any case, predates the pandemic, not at all have reacted the same way. And A cannot be the last sentence. So we'll just remove this answer, okay? Remove this answer. So A cannot be the last sentence. B is the last sentence, I'm sure. So DACB, let's check once again. B more than, no, it's also not the correct order. What should be the correct order? C, Ramakrishna says C. BDCA. Pedagogues would argue that there could be more than one method of lightening the academic load that, in any case, predates the pandemic. Not all have reacted the same way. And so A cannot be the last sentence, and B seems to be the first sentence. So A cannot be the last sentence. Ramakrishna. Any answers from your end? I'll just do a research on this. So I think this B thing is the first sentence. That we can fix. But we have option like BDC is also there. BDC, B, then D. BD is certainly an answer. So BD is here, BD is here, BD is here. So BDCA is not, because A cannot be the last sentence. So we can have ABDC. Not all have reacted the same way, and pedagogues would argue that there could be academic load that, okay, this is the answer. Not all have reacted the same way, and pedagogues would argue that there could be more than one method of lightening the academic load that, in any case, predates the pandemic. So this is the perfect answer. ABDC. Correct. No, Radhika. D is correct answer. Radhika, you are right. D is the correct answer. Moving to the next question. Okay. White House experts leading the national. Okay, see, this is have, this is recommended. So DA is certainly a pair. Do we have an option like DA somewhere? DB, A, D, A, D, D, A, D, DC, DC, DB. Okay. So let us solve this question. Public to prevent transmission of the illness. Recommended wearing face coverings in White House experts recommended face coverings in fight against the contagion have recommended DB. Okay. Okay, so you see, BA is a pair, 100% a pair, BA. Well, I'll tell you why. Recommended wearing face coverings in public to prevent transmission of the illness. So where is BA over here? BA is somewhere in, I think none of the above will be the answer. C, Radhika Reddy says C, CDBA. Okay, BA is here. BA is here also, BA is here also. CDBA. So White House experts leading the national fight against the contagion have recommended wearing face coverings in public to prevent transmission of the illness. Very good, Radhika. So the answer would be C. CDBA. Correct. Okay, with this I'd like to end the session. We had a wonderful session. We solved multiple error type questions, common errors, error spotting with no error type questions, error spotting with only one error type questions. Then we did rearrangement, and then we solved some common errors as well, error spotting. So I'd like to end the session today. From Monday, have recommended, correct, Radhika. So from Monday we'll also be having a vocabulary session from 11:30. Today we ended the session at 11:26. After 11:26 or 11:30 we'll have a vocabulary session. Thank you so much.